What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, everybody, check it out, man. We've been waiting on this one, haven't we? We've been waiting on this one, man. Finally, Amandla speaks. Amandla Stenberg has broken her silence, and she is out here to blame you, the toxic bigot Star Wars fans that got her show, The Acolyte, canceled, okay? It's your fault. Has nothing to do at all with the trash writing. Has nothing to do with this terrible acting that we saw. You know, the wooden acting, a lot of it was from her, okay? A lot of it was from Amandla herself or Vanessa Rowe. Like some of the worst acting we've ever seen in Star Wars. Has nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the garbage direction that we saw. The story that was told that everybody just kind of got tired of after a couple of episodes. Has nothing to do with that, all right? And then one of the most expensive shows on top of that, right? Has nothing to do with the fact that there was $180 million spent on this show for 8 episodes, and you look high and low throughout them 8 episodes, and you cannot find $180 million anywhere. You cannot find that money. Like, where'd that money go? You know, they had like Radio Shack metal detectors as props. What the hell is this? Where did this money go? They sure as hell didn't put it into the writers and the actors. That's for damn sure. But no, it's not any of that fault, okay? It's the toxic Star Wars fans. That's who's to blame. You know, it's not the rap video, all right, the diss track that she decided to throw out there. Nah, it doesn't have anything to do with that. Don't blame me, okay? Don't blame me. Blame what she calls here the rampage of vitriol from toxic Star Wars fans. And she says, yeah, the cancellation wasn't a huge shock. It wasn't a huge shock. It wasn't a real huge shock to a lot of us because we understood what was really going on. Nobody was watching this trash. Not a damn person was watching this crap at all. It really didn't even matter what it was doing in the ratings and stuff like on Rotten Tomatoes, I mean. It didn't matter what people were doing with that. It had everything to do with the viewership. And the viewership fell off the side of a cliff. Amandla, if you had been paying attention to the Nielsen ratings, you knew that this thing was going to be canceled. So it's not a huge shock from that standpoint. You know, but like I said on the previous video, you could have had all of this rampage from the toxic Star Wars fans, as you like to call them. You could have had all the rampage in the world, and if people watched it, it would have got renewed. Disney would have said, oh, let's go. Full steam ahead on season 2. But that didn't happen, all right? That didn't happen because nobody gives a damn about this. And again, the problem is the people that are making Star Wars don't understand Star Wars. It's really that simple. And so when Star Wars fans tune in to watch a new Star Wars show and it's just been diminishing returns, they are out, okay? They have completely checked out. They're like, this looks like garbage. I'm not watching it. And again, these are Star Wars fans. The same Star Wars fans that were locked in with the Mandalorian and watched the hell out of the first 2 seasons of the Mandalorian. It's these same Star Wars fans that are rejecting you right now. And so you really have to come to terms with what have we done to lose all of them people, all right? Everybody that was watching Book of Boba Fett, everybody that was watching Obi-Wan, that got decent enough viewership. But this show, no, it didn't get anything at all. So yeah, Amandla Stenberg is out here whining and complaining, and she posted this video up, all right? We're going to go through a couple of excerpts of this. I'm not going to watch the entire thing, okay? This shit is 8 minutes long of her just whining, okay? Whining for 8 minutes, we're not doing that. But what we are going to do is just kind of piece a few of her commentary apart and just talk about it, okay? Because finally, Amandla has broken her silence. Look, it's getting views. It's going super viral. We're going to listen to this, and we're going to see the aftermath of this. It's going to be very interesting to watch. But yeah, let's go ahead and check it out.
So that's why I'm hopping on here to talk about this, which is that our Star Wars show has been canceled. And I'm going to be transparent and say that it's not a huge shock for me. Of course, I live in the bubble of my own reality, but for those who aren't aware, there has been a rampage of vitriol that we have faced since the show was even announced, when it was still just a concept and when no one had even seen it.
Okay, so that's just kind of incomplete information. Once again, gaslighting, okay? Because when this show was originally announced, all this rampage of vitriol that she's talking about, it comes because we heard what the show was all about, and it wasn't going to be about Star Wars. It was going to be about, oh, we got to do the representation thing, all right? We got to do the diversity, equity, inclusion. We're not doing Star Wars, all right? Star Wars is on the back burner, you know? I mean, it's ridiculous, man. Legit Star Wars is kicked to the back burner, and we're pushing all of these other concepts. All right, we're pushing feminism, we're pushing LGBTQ, we're pushing diversity, we're pushing blah, 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 blah. We're not giving you a Star Wars story, and that's it. And then whoever happens to be in it happens to be in it. No, they are doing their own thing. And then as we continued to get more and more information, it was clear that this was going to diverge so far away from what Star Wars was. All right, that it was like, oh my God, this is just going to be garbage. This chick literally came out and said, oh, you know, finally, I'm doing a show where black nerds can feel safe. Where the black nerd community out there, y'all can feel safe now thanks to Amandla Stenberg. Yo, hero, woo! Go Amandla. That she thought she was doing something unique and special. Like black people ain't loved Star Wars from day one. You know? I'm not going to show it now, but I've shown you guys that video from Return of the Jedi, the opening night for Return of the Jedi, where everybody that was packed into that thing was just a multicultural of people from all different walks of life, including plenty of black people. It's just utterly ridiculous. So, yeah, that was the stuff that you guys were saying, all right? That was you, Amandla, all right? That was your voice coming out and just basically throwing cold water on this for a lot of Star Wars fans before you even got started, all right? That's basically what happened.
And that's when we started experiencing a rampage of, I would say, hyper-conservative bigotry and vitriol, prejudiced hatred, and hateful language.
I mean, can you give us some more buzzwords that, you know, you want to throw in there, Amandla, all right? Prejudice, bigotry, you know, like ultra-conservative, hatred, vitriol, blah, 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 blah. Your show got canceled because nobody watched it. It's that simple. If people watched the show, it wouldn't have got canceled. That's all there is to it. You know what's really funny, again, is that all the reasons that these cats always claim that the show was canceled, you find it in other shows. You know, like People of Color. You find People of Color in all kinds of other shows. You found them in House of the Dragon. They race swapped a whole, like, family of people. You know, black dudes with white, you know, braids and stuff. It's a ridiculous looking thing, to be very honest with you, but nobody's canceling the show because of it. As a matter of fact, people love the House of the Dragon. Got a season 2. Looking forward to season 3. You know, you had LGBTQ stuff. You had, what's her face? Rhaenyra in this last season having a full makeout session with a woman. No problem. Everybody was like, whoa, that was a little uncomfortable, but hey, you know, whatever. Some folks anyway, some people just didn't care. And shows just fine, not getting canceled. Again, all of the reasons that people are crying, moaning, and complaining, oh my God, you guys are do. It's like, nah, it's just that nobody watched the show. You made a Star Wars show for everybody except Star Wars fans. And Star Wars fans are the people you should be making your shows for. That's the thing I'm trying to get across to these idiots. Make your shows for Star Wars fans and you'll be fine. You make it for anybody else, and the whole likelihood is this thing is going to flop, fail, and you're going to be pulling the plug on it. Make the show for Star Wars fans. We don't know how to do that because we don't understand what Star Wars fans want. Exactly. Why don't you start doing what the fans want? Listen to the fans and you won't go wrong. How many times do I got to tell y'all? But they won't do that. They'll continue to double and triple down on their agendas, all right, on making something for a modern audience instead of a Star Wars audience. And you get what you get, okay? Like, I'm tired of the arguments. I'm tired of the crying. I'm tired of the bitching and moaning, all right? It's too bad. Again, do what the Star Wars fans want to do. When in Rome, do what Romans do. You know, when in Lucasfilm, do what Star Wars fans want. It's that simple, man. It really is.
Experiencing the world at large, which is, of course, hyper divisive right now, through the lens of this very, very unique opportunity of being in Star Wars. And it brought up a lot for me, a lot socio-political dynamics, a lot about my own value system, how I respond to that kind of hatred, how I move through the world at large. And it just became inarguable for me at a certain point that in order to continue to be myself, I would have to honor my value system by being vocal even within the context of working for Disney and working within the large, massive IP that is Star Wars.
Yeah, now she's talking about, and I'm reading between the lines on this, She's talking about the diss track, okay? She said, well, to stay within myself, I had to continue to, just be myself and be vocal and speak out or whatever, okay? Whatever she just said. She's talking about that diss track, and you notice how she mentions it, working for Disney and working within this massive IP that is Star Wars. I guarantee you somebody talked to her about that damn diss track, and they didn't tell her to pull it down. But she got talked to about it, all right? She got talked to about it, and it was probably a very humbling experience because somebody came out and said, dumbass, what the hell did you think you just did out there? Oh, you thought you was being saucy and cute. You just threw $180 million down the drain with your bullshit. I guarantee you somebody at Disney over there said something to her. And they're never going to admit it, all right? It'll never come out that somebody talked to this chick. But me just reading between the lines, I could be totally guessing, obviously. But me just reading between the lines, the way that she said that piece that she just said, it sounds like to me anyway, that she got a talking to, maybe just by her agent or maybe just by somebody within her own group. But somebody was told, hey, talk to Amandla about that fucking diss track that she just dropped, because that fucked off a whole lot of bread, y'all. She just tricked off tons and tons of money, because even again, the Hollywood Reporter reported it. Yo, that had an absolute influence on this show being canceled, because it really soured people on the show. The fact that you got this actress doing this back and forth with folks, and she's in the Acolyte, and it's in the middle of the show's run. It's right smack dab in the middle of why this show is running. And she's coming out here talking about the fandom and doing a diss track. Yeah, she got to talking to about that again. I can't, that's just my opinion about how she just spoke about that within the massive IP of a Disney brand and of Star Wars. She was told, yo, you cannot do this kind of nonsense if you are going to be out here representing a huge brand, because that is brand damage. We're seeing the exact same shit right now with Rachel Zegler. I guarantee you that somebody over there with Rachel Zegler is trying to put a muzzle on that chick, But the problem is, man, you guys let these, the horses out of the barn, man. You guys let these cats loose, and they just get out there and they feel emboldened and empowered to go out there and say whatever it is that they want to say, even if it destroys your franchise, even if it absolutely burns up $180 million, or in the case of Rachel Zegler, $330 million, and then some. Again, this is the nonsense that I'm talking about. Amandla Stenberg seems like she has yet to learn that lesson, because she's still out here talking about the fans instead of just coming out and saying, you know what? It was a great run. I had a great time with and she does a little bit of that in here. Don't get it twisted. But that's all I would have said. Hey, it was a great run. We had a great time. Thank you, Leslie Headland. Thank you, Kathleen Kennedy, the folks at Lucasfilm, for giving us an awesome time. I hope the fans that did watch the show, that did enjoy the show, I hope we gave you some memories, whatever. But you don't come out and do this. This is stupid once again. So again, I think she got a talking to, but I think in her little childlike mind, she just still hasn't put it together. They got to put a muzzle on these damn actresses. She's ruining her own career, because there are going to be people that absolutely do not rock with her as she's saying this stuff. And then more and more roles where she keeps coming out and doing this, she's just going to add to it. Rachel Zegler is just building up a giant boycott as we speak. I'm telling you, man, it's amazing that these people don't understand it, or they don't get it.
Just everybody that I worked with in Lucasfilm, particularly Rain Roberts, my producer, was just had such vision and hope and such a mission for what we were going to continue bringing into the sci-fi universe and into the Star Wars universe. And it was a really...
Look, she just sees this as just regular sci-fi, and she thinks she's doing something for the sci-fi universe. They think that they had a plan, all right? They had a plan with the Acolyte. They were going to drag all of this stuff to the forefront, put it in Star Wars, and she was going to be the face of that, and now it's gone, and now that's why she's upset. She was about to be the face of whatever their new mission is, their movement. We're using Amandla Stenberg as the face of this movement. I guarantee you that's part of the pitch of the reason why they sold this to her. You got all the check boxes, okay? You're LGBTQ, you're a woman of color, all right? You're super hyper activist lady. They love this chick. She fits the mold perfectly. And so, yeah, when they rolled her out there and said, oh, yeah, Amandla, man, you're going to be our girl, man, you're going to do this. Yeah, it just all blew up in her face. And she's mad, all right? You can see it throughout this entire thing. I'm not going to play anymore. But you could just see, like, the look on her face and everything. Like, she was excited, but then you can see, like, the disappointments and all of that kind of stuff in her face. You know, and again, what it comes down to, in my opinion, is simple. You make a Star Wars show for Star Wars fans, not for your, you know, whatever that 18% that actually liked it. It's probably even lower than that. It's probably closer to 10%. You make a Star Wars show for the fans that have built the franchise up over the last 40 plus years. You make a show for them first. Before you get to any other nonsense, you make a show for the fans and the fans will show up. You make a show for this LGBTQ mission, this feminism mission. You can't do that with Star Wars because Star Wars fans have rejected that out of hand. They have rejected it fully. You got to take that shit somewhere else. All right, you got to take all of that movement stuff, that agenda and message crap. You got to get that out of here. It doesn't belong in the fandom of Star Wars. And Star Wars fans, they're starting to speak out. The franchise is right now sitting at the bottom of the ocean because of bullshit like this. This is exactly why Star Wars is where it is. And these idiots don't get it. They don't get it. Oh, it's bigotry, it's hatred, it's this. No, it's a lack of Star Wars. That's what's fucking your shit up right now. A lack of Star Wars. Give us Star Wars or fuck off. It's really that simple, you know? But anyway, yeah, Amandla Stenberg can be pissed all she wants to, okay? She can be mad. She can cry bigotry. She can try hatred. Oh, it's the ultra conservatives and all that other kind of crap. She can say any of that crap. It doesn't matter. Look, you give us good Star Wars and we're right there. You give us bad Star Wars, this is what happens, all right? And anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.